Yeah.
The
Oh,
big floppy
God.
feet and the squeaky noses and the
Squeeze my nose.
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Which is why I say nothing surprises me.
Hello world, welcome to Furry Frequencies. I'm your host Sharky, along with our co-hosts Lifty and Sylox. Say something, you fuckers.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, what's up?
Something you fuckers.
As you all can hear, we're joined by a wonderful guest host today, Uncle Kage. Say hello, Uncle Kage. Introduce who you are and what the fuck you do in case someone lives under a rock and don't know who the fuck you are.
Oh, okay, that's not necessarily fair. There are lots of people who live on very, very nice rocks. Anyway, I'm Uncle Kage. I don't know why. I am the chairman of Anthrocon. I've been the chairman of Anthrocon for 20 years now. And that's pretty much it. I drink too much and I talk too much, and those two things generally don't go well together, but for me they seem to work because people fly me all over the world to do both those things at the same time.
Fantastic.
Nice.
So you're just a
Nice.
famous drunk. Got it.
In short, yes.
All right, so we got a few things to talk about. Most of them entitling Anthrocon and shit like that, as well as talking about a recent movie we saw, Godzilla, which I gotta say was actually really fucking good, despite what critics say.
It was great.
Yep.
I
Oh,
liked
yeah.
it. I liked it a lot.
I know you liked it.
Oh,
Because there
hush.
were some parts of it that you liked more than others.
No comment.
Hey, you foot-loving fucker.
Oh my God, you were so mean.
Was he one of those pervy moth fanciers?
If anything involves feet and paws, Sylox will flock to it, and it's
Well, macro,
macro.
and feet.
Macro, yeah, that's it.
he liked the stompy stompy.
Well, that's why most people go to those movies, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Not
You
for
want-
the storyline, but to see some good old kaiju action. Yeah.
You tell me one person outside of a critic who's ever watched a Godzilla movie for the plot.
I'm not there for the plot. I just want to see monsters fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's very cathartic because who among us has not just wanted to completely let his hair down and go out and destroy a major metropolitan area?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yes.
So we live vicariously through the kaiju that we see on the screen.
Yep.
I was
Except,
just thinking with how outrageous it is, man, if people want these monsters gone, just do what they did in Pacific Rim. Just make giant robots and fuck shit up.
yeah, but I mean, they tried that with Pacific Rim. They got to try something different.
The monsters
Yeah.
in Pacific Rim were kind of weird. They were just kind of gross looking. I don't want to see somebody's art project monster. I want to see a cool monster. King Ghidorah, that is a cool monster. At least 2/3 of him.
Mm-hmm.
Where the jury is still out on the left head.
Yes.
Most people that I've spoken to have agreed that King Ghidorah's left head is named Kevin.
Nice.
Kevin.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure 2 of them are straight and 1 of them's gay.
Oh my God. I
It's just
believe it.
That'd be really funny. Because there's a theory that they each have independent dicks.
Oh, God.
Oh Lord, you.
Okay, now you're just getting weird.
No,
Yeah,
this
you
is
are.
not weird yet.
Sharky. Don't go
Anyway.
weird.
I guess now that we're starting off on this Godzilla shit, let's talk about what the critics had to say, which I find fucking hilarious.
Who is
People
Tim?
were complaining about there not being enough monsters bashing each other with their giant bodies. So when they put more monsters in, fucking destroying shit and, you know, doing whatever, they got upset, which is very confusing because they wanted more monsters.
Well, they're critics. Critics don't know what they want. That's my theory. They don't know what they
then-
want. They get paid to write BS, in my opinion, and it's a very cushy job if you can get it. You think about it.
But then, if you're watching that movie for the plot, you're going to be sorely disappointed. I mean, who on earth, like we mentioned earlier, like Uncle Kage mentioned earlier, who goes to the movie, to a Godzilla movie to watch the plot for the plot? And that just totally misses the point because this plot was paper thin.
it was not only paper thin. It was uh, it was actually transparent. It was so thin. I'm a scientist by trade outside the furry fandom. I have a doctorate in chemistry. And the first time I saw it, I seen the movie twice, you see. The first time I saw it, I was like, oh, this is really cool. I like the monsters. Kevin, yeah, okay. 2/3 of King Ghidorah is really cool. But Rodan is a dick. But the second time I watched it, I'm like, okay, now I'm going to watch it and see what's going on in the plot. And it's just really stupid. I mean, it's the dumbest, most idiotic, scientifically moronic plot there is. Just go watch the monsters. You don't need no
It is
plot.
such a dumb plot. It really is it really is a dumb plot. But
That's-
again, you're not going for the plot. You're going to see kaiju destruction. That's what you're going to see.
That's what I was thinking when I was watching. I was like, there's only three intelligent people in this entire movie.
They all died.
And they were all the monsters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, they were.
basically. I think the only smart person was that fucking Asian scientist dude in charge
Japanese
of
guy.
whatever
Yes,
the
and
fuck.
he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was
He
just
died
like,
for the
"Fuck
greater
it.
good."
I told you guys what
Spoilers,
was
by
going
the
to
way,
happen. You didn't
spoilers.
listen.
Yep.
I'll
Now I
bleep
must
that
go
out.
and fix this shit.
What
What
is
made
all
me
the
laugh
movie?
the most was the military response.
Oh,
Because as a veteran, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? There's like no infantrymen. There's like maybe one or two sailors. I didn't see any Marines. There's no artillery. Oh, cool. They got jets. But where's the fucking Air Force? And then when the part that got me the most was when they're like, this is going to be a multi-branch operation. I'm like, it fucking wasn't already?
No. No.
Because I'm pretty sure I've seen multiple branches in there, unless they're just fucking random liaisons they threw in there just for shits and giggles.
I think all of them were represented, but you just couldn't tell what each one was. That was my theory. But
Because if the military honestly wanted to wipe these monsters, they could have done it fucking easily with the amount of armament we actually have in our arsenal. The army could have done it alone, for hell's sake.
I did like that big Lockheed F-117, whatever that was that they were flying in, or it was like an F-117.
Mhm.
It was just way bigger.
yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, wow, that's really nice. I mean, it's like,
Also, like,
do we
the
have the
little
budget for
airships
that?
they dropped in?
No.
I was like, if we had this technology now, that'd make life so much easier. Just fly
Well, remember-
over and drop some drop ships.
well, remember, the Godzilla just destroyed San Francisco in 2014, apparently, according to the movie.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, so that's what
okay.
happened.
He didn't do it on purpose. He had a job to do. He was working. There's a little bit of collateral damage. Let's be fair, okay?
Oh, I see. So he
He's
was
like, all
just...
these fucking humans in the way.
Yeah, no.
How dare you erect these buildings in my working path?
And see what I really like was at the end where they set up Godzilla. Oh, I'm gonna bleep this out too. Where they set up the next Godzilla movie, Godzilla versus King Kong. I really like how they set that up in the ending credits. I thought that was
Yes.
nice.
I also
Yeah.
like how King Kong is canon in their universe.
Mm-hmm.
Can
Well,
we talk
he's,
about
he's
how
one of
Kong
he's
is
one of the
fucking
he's
canon?
one, but he's one of the monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not really a monster. He's just like, just don't fuck with my forest. I don't give a shit.
Well,
Yeah,
Literally, it's like when the army went there doing their seismic readings. If you guys saw that, if you saw that latest Kong movie,
uh-huh.
literally they're just dropping bombs. He's like, hey, stop dropping fucking bombs in my fucking house.
Well, that's even a line in the movie. Something like, you don't just walk into a guy's house and start throwing bombs at him.
yeah.
I mean, understandably, if I were Kong, I'd be like, what the fuck you doing, man?
you'd
I
be
was
upset.
taking a
Yeah.
nap, lying in my comfy fucking, I don't know, rock. And you just start fucking throwing bombs.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
understandably, he was upset. I would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been too.
Now, if there's one Godzilla movie I would like to get a reboot, and I know this is never happening for reasons. Godzilla '98. That needs a reboot because that movie was horrible, terrible.
Which one was that again?
The one in 1998.
Yeah, I know, but which one
No
was it?
shit, Sylox.
Wow. Rude
Okay,
Sharky.
okay.
Yeah, feel bad.
Who was he fighting in that one, or was
Oh,
he just screwing
yes.
Oh,
around?
he wasn't fighting anybody. He was well, not a monster. He basically attacked New York
Actually,
City.
it was Godzilla 2000. It was released in '99, but
No, I meant the Godzilla movie in 1998, not
Are you
Godzilla
talking the
2000.
American Godzilla movie?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, you should have said the American Godzilla movie.
Okay.
Okay, let's give that one a reboot. Number one, let's get rid of Ferris Bueller, whatever his name is.
Matthew Broderick. Yeah.
Let's redesign the monster so he actually looks right. And we definitely need to have a sex scene in there.
Of course.
they
Put
had
that
they
fan
had
service in.
well they had like a second of the sex in this current movie, but they pixelated it all out. I think they were trying to do like a tongue kiss or something, and that's how they mate or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's
funny.
kind
That
of like
was
a
just a
blink and you
kiss.
miss it. Yeah, but I mean, they pixelated it.
That's yeah, exactly. He's like, here, watch this fancy little thing about how giant monsters fuck.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. And then
Wait a minute, I get
they
it.
brought it up a second time too.
I get it. You want Godzilla '98, the American, because that's one had all the paws in it. You're the paw guy. I remember.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
There's an exterior motive to this.
You're not wrong. There is an exterior motive to this. Yes.
He wants his paws, damn it. He wants the stompy stomp.
if Sylox was the director of the next Godzilla film, it would just be 2 hours of just large Godzilla feet just stomping on a giant city. Just stomp it all over Washington D.C. or Philly or
I mean, you're not wrong.
Boston.
There
Whatever.
wouldn't even be any
It'd
human,
probably
any
be a
human
bit
subplot.
more worse
It'd
than
just be
that. Have you not seen Sylox's freaking like art and FA?
I don't want to talk about that.
You still
Okay.
add stuff to it.
All right, I got my computer right here. Sylox
Oh, boy.
on FA.
Oh God!
Is he Sylox on FA?
Yes.
Don't do
yes,
it.
I
Defend
am.
yourself
Yes.
from this.
Let's see.
You're gonna be fucking disturbed, man.
Well, let's see. Okay, it's huh.
I mean, there's some good ones in there that are normal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Follow. There we go. Okay.
Uncle Kage is diagnosing your FA.
Yeah. This isn't the biggest mistake I made today, but okay.
Oh, it just gets worse and worse the more you dive into it. You,
Well,
you
it's
should see his
It's not that bad.
fan
There's
fictions
worse
he
out
makes.
there.
It's,
Okay. I have seen worse. Remember, guys, I've been in furry fandom since just about the very beginning. There's very, very, very little out there can shock me.
He's
So
built up a defense against the swarms of
Cringe.
cringe is a good way to put it. I was
Yeah.
gonna put something a bit
Yeah.
aggressive.
Sylox, are you embarrassed at anything that's on your FA? I haven't seen it. though.
Honestly, no. No.
Okay.
there's
Good
nothing
on you, Sylox.
I'd
If you
be
like
embarrassed
something,
about.
go for it. That's all I
Well,
say.
no, I did put some songs on there that are super cringy. Now that I
Oh,
look back
songs,
at it.
really? Let's have a look here.
Oh boy! Wow. I shouldn't have said anything.
You brought this on yourself, Sylox.
I did.
Reap what you sow, fucker. Should have taken that shit down if you didn't want people to listen to it,
I should have.
but too late.
I'm just lazy when it comes to my FA.
We all know you're lazy.
I
Nobody can find my FA because I'll never tell what my FA is.
I've
Mine's
seen
Challenge
empty.
accepted.
Uh-oh.
I don't even use mine. Mine's fucking empty. I think it has like some sketches of my persona, and that's it.
I just post art that I get on Twitter.
I think that's where a lot of people post their stuff now. They're all on Twitter, it seems.
Yeah.
They've like migrated away from FA and they've gone to Twitter, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's because FA crashes all the time.
It
It
does.
gets doxed. It
And
gets straight
it's-
fucked all the time.
It's cumbersome. It's
Oh, yeah.
its user interface.
Well,
is
it just-
so
yeah.
retro.
Well, the biggest problem with FA is just that it crashes all the time because the servers just can't really handle the load sometimes.
Yeah.
And oh jeez. Oh no.
All I hear is the laughing. I'm just like, let the hell raise.
I said handle the load, and oh jeez.
Sorry.
Oh, I thought he found one of Sylox's more.
That too.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Have you found him in the plane or the building or the cruise ship?
Jesus, man. I have nothing involving buildings.
I do want to say though,
Don't Sylox.
the
Let's be honest
Godzilla,
here.
the Godzilla in the current film,
Uh-huh.
he looked pretty hot. Like the face was like, oh my goodness, yes.
Oh,
He looks
he definitely had a serious case of go fuck you up.
Yes.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Yes.
I mean, the first film, the first it was 2014 or something like that. He just kind of looked tired, like he's an old guy come out of retirement, and he's like, oh, I don't got time for this shit. This time it was more like, I don't got time for this shit. It's very, very different.
I'm trying to
in the way
live
you
my
say it.
life. I'm trying to hunt, and you fuckers come around.
Yes.
Always
Oh,
gotta
yeah.
pull your damn humans.
Don't
ass
raise
out
your
of the
hand.
fire.
Rude.
Who raised their hand?
Who do
Okay,
you
I found
think?
the one with the airplanes.
Oh, God.
See, that's how he gets all those frequent flyer miles.
Uh-huh.
Basically.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh man.
We're going to
Wow.
talk about airlines later.
Oh god.
you
We've
sure
you
already
wanna
get on
beaten
that
to
subject?
death the airline
Can I
thing.
shill United later on?
No.
Okay. Wow.
We don't
Rude.
care that you have stock in United.
I wasn't going to talk about that. I just want to talk about United.
The only good thing about United is a stroopwafel, and they only offer it in the morning. It's like
And
I
the
want. Yes.
They're too small.
Yeah, they are. I want.
It doesn't fit on the coffee cup.
No, it doesn't. At least not in theirs.
Yeah.
And you're
but
supposed
it's
to warm
so
it up
good,
on
though.
your cup. Ah.
Here.
We should get some. Stroopwafel.
We should.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's really good.
I've never had a what's it good stoop waffle or whatever the fuck.
Scoop
Yeah,
off
you're
it.
missing out, man.
It's because
really
I'm
good.
usually the one turning the plane into a dry plane by drinking it dry.
Oh my God.
That's not what the picture says, but okay.
What?
Huh?
Nothing.
Oh my God.
By the way, hopefully there are no listeners who have no idea what a stroopwafel is, and we're just confusing them right now. So maybe somebody should explain.
Lifty.
Okay,
Lifty,
so a
you're the expert on
stroopwafel.
stoop waffles.
So a stroopwafel is a Dutch treat from the Netherlands. It's two very thin, very scrumptious waffles, and in between is a layer of nice caramel. And then when you put it over your cup, it melts the caramel so that when you bite into it, you get a nice, warm and soft, sticky, gooey, delicious.
You're making this sound like a porno.
God damn it!
He is.
Like
to
you
put some
remind me.
music on
Have you
for
guys
you
seen
while
that
you describe
picture of
that?
that wolf enjoying the phallic-looking waffle?
Oh yes,
Oh,
no.
That's what you're
God.
reminding me.
No,
that
stop. I know what that is, and like, stop.
Giuseppe is
And
down.
I've also finished one beer, so
And you're not like wasted? That's
no,
amazing.
I'm not a lightweight.
You are a lightweight. Let's be honest here. 3 beers in, and
What
you
a
basically
story, Mark.
sound like you're dying.
No, it takes 9 beers for me to die.
It takes me one.
Yeah.
Alex would drink a quarter of the beer and be like, "Hey, let's do a fire walk on a still fucking burning bonfire."
Oh jeez.
I'm not letting that shit go.
Look, if they do it in Hawaii, that means I can do it myself. That was my thought process.
I'm
I
getting
Your
never said it
bad.
thought
was smart.
process was, "Ooh, look, really shiny. Let's go step on it."
I never said it was smart.
You want to
Ugh.
step on everything.
Because he's a
Jesus, man.
macro lover.
Oh boy.
That's part of his way. He's a big macro wolf.
What did
He
I
likes
do
to
deserve
step on
this?
everything.
Oh my God.
You know what's something that's really funny?
What?
Everyone
What's that?
that I've met that's a macro has been short.
Okay.
Really?
So
fair.
is there like a Napoleon complex attached to it, or
No comment. For some probably, but not for me. Maybe,
Okay.
I don't know.
okay?
Because seriously, every single one I've met is just like small, twinkle-looking dude. And I'm like, oh, I expected you to be bigger, like a bear or something.
A bear?
Yeah, I expect some lumberjack-looking motherfucker to.
Oh, I thought you meant an
Yeah.
actual bear. I'm like, I don't know big bears get that tall. But
Oh, Kage, in case you don't know, Sylox is one of the most innocent people ever. It's so fucking cute because he won't know anything like sexual slang wise.
oh my
How many
God.
conventions has he been to?
Oh,
He's been through a
jeez.
lot. And the funny thing is,
I
he
think
didn't
I'm
even
at,
know
like,
what the fuck a
14.
wand was until we explained it to him.
Well, that's the thing from Harry Potter, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Oh god,
Until
he
I was
thought that too
proven
until we
otherwise.
explained it to him.
Not the ones made by Hitachi. Those are not in Harry Potter. Last I checked.
They probably are just behind
I
closed
mean,
doors.
there kind of was an allusion to it in the fourth book, page 352 or something. But
That's a
it's
very
kind of like a very,
oddly
very
specific page.
yeah. But that's just like a real stretch
Someone likes
for
Harry
you
Potter.
to.
Lifty, do
Oi!
you like Harry Potter?
Do you want to be a British wizard?
It was
Hello,
a
Harry.
good.
You're going to be a wizard.
It was a good series. Okay,
No, it wasn't.
don't grill me on that.
It wasn't that good.
Well, back when I read it when I was a kid, I thought it was a good series.
Well, yeah, when we were kids.
Because you
it's
were a
like,
kid.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
As an adult, it's like, holy shit, we actually like this? What am I
Well, okay.
reading?
Admittedly, the first of the stories was childish and sophomoric, but you notice they got more mature themed as they went on, and I guess that was kind
Yeah.
of smart because the audience was maturing, so the stories matured with them.
Yeah,
I got to give her
Absolutely.
props for that.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
That's fair, yeah. It could be
Also,
worse.
I
It
like
could be
the
like
theory
Twilight.
that Harry Potter is actually insane in a mental asylum. It's all made up
That's for a lot of things.
because it makes sense.
A lot of cartoon, well, not just cartoon, but for a lot of conspiracy theories about shows and stuff. The character is always in some kind of mental asylum. They're insane. They're dreaming about it.
Yeah, but that's also like a big cop out in literature, and I think it's
It
just
is.
yeah.
Like that's what people are assuming about like what's his face? He never grows up. Ash Ketchum, that he's somehow in a coma and dreaming everything up, and that's why he never ages. Or whatever.
Sorry, what's his name again?
Ash Ketchum.
That
Ash
sounds
Ketchup.
almost dirty.
Anyway, since we're veering off topic, let's get on back on topic and
There's a topic.
Well, we kind of like meandered towards it, but
Yeah.
it's
we
a meander,
basically have,
so we kind of like
guidelines,
yeah.
Not back
and
on track.
We'll improvise as it comes up. That's really about it.
So let's talk about Anthrocon for a little bit because it's going to be Anthrocon very soon, July
I'm
4th
fucking
through the
hype.
7th. Yes, we're all going. We're all
Prepare
ready
yourself,
in.
Anthrocon, because
Yeah.
it's just going to be the same Anthrocon, except we're going to be there.
Yeah, we're
There's going to be no fucking change. Nothing crazy is going to happen other than
my
being drunk.
God.
Yeah, let's go for that.
Yeah.
actually this is going to be the first time I've ever been to Anthrocon, so I don't really know
Me
what to
too.
expect. What?
I said, me too.
Really?
Oh, sweet. You guys
Actually,
can hang
no,
out
I
with
made
each other
that.
as first con goers.
What do you expect? Okay, it's a furry convention, and it's big, and it's in a big convention center, and people piss and moan because the convention center's big. Well, I'm sorry. You needed a big convention center to put the convention in, didn't you? So that's pretty much it.
Oh, nice.
I've been there, I
So-
think, twice before. And my sister's been there twice, I think. The first time she went there, my mom actually came up to you, Uncle Kage, and told you about when I was actually overseas at the time, and had asked you for a fucking a picture, which actually meant a lot because I was actually in the middle of the deployment when that happened.
Oh, did I give her one?
Yep.
Oh, boy, I'm glad. I was afraid you were going to say, and you were a dickhead and didn't give it.
No, it was when you're in that what was it? That old school scientist get up.
Oh, that was a couple years ago.
Yep.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, my mom came up to me. He's like, she's probably said something like, oh, my boy's deployed and probably kicking ass. Or in reality, I was just sitting and waiting for some shit to happen. But
Well, pretty much that's all you got to say to me. I do try to support the folks in uniform. But
Yes.
I'm very, very glad that you tell me that I answered her positively, because here's the thing. Anthrocon is a little bit of a stress for me, you might say.
It's a straight clusterfuck.
It keeps a lot of my attention. I don't actually have, for the last 20 years, I don't have any real physical memory of any event at Anthrocon that didn't give me trouble.
Oh my God, really?
Ooh.
Wow.
It's true because I am very very hyper fixated on the things that require my attention, and those things are things that are giving trouble. So in general, people will come up to me and say, "Do you remember me from Anthrocon?" The answer is, if I do, that's not a good thing.
Oh,
Yeah, I completely understand. I didn't honestly expect
yeah,
you to remember, but I'm just giving you a good little heads up of the past.
Well,
So
I can use reminders of the past because I am not myself. If anybody out there is going to Anthrocon and wants to talk to me, I really am sorry. I apologize in advance. I am not myself. Again, I got shit to do. I've got 250 very, very capable staff members, but there's still some things that the guy in charge just has to take care of.
you're
five
you're
or
on
six-
duty. You're in work mode, which is completely
Exactly.
understandable. I honestly didn't expect you to remember, but hopefully that makes you feel good that passively you've helped.
Oh, it does make me feel good. I'm very, very glad. About 6 years ago, I went down to the lobby and I saw some old friends from years and years back. I was like, oh boy, and I ran up to them and I gave them hugs all around and said, "Oh, I'm so glad to see you. When did you get in?" And they kind of stared at me and they looked at each other and they said, "You don't remember, do you?" I said, "Well, remember what?" And they smiled very patiently and they said, "We had dinner last night. Halfway through the meal, without a word, you got up and left and never came back." And I had no recollection at all of having had dinner or even of having seen them.
wow.
See, under ordinary circumstances, we might call this a blackout and say, "I had a really good time," but this is not the case.
I actually kind of know this phenomena pretty dang well.
Yeah.
They happen a lot in my job. It's kind of like the mind dumps information it doesn't deem necessary.
Yeah.
It's actually a
Yeah.
very common thing the brain does in order to keep itself sane. It's kind of like a great way, the example of it is, when you're driving, you get to point A to point B. You remember getting to point A to point B, but you don't remember the drive in between.
Yep.
It's because it wasn't necessary information. Unless
Yeah.
something significant happened, your brain dumps it because it's just, useless shit taking up memory.
Well, then there's actually also times when somebody who you're talking about or talking to about or during the drive, they bring up a random memory from that point that you would have just dumped that memory, but somebody reminds you of it, and then it's just like, oh, yeah, I remember that. Like one time when I was driving to FWA, I stopped at a truck stop and I was just so out of it that I called a Wendy's. I called it Wenley's, and one of my friends just kind of like he was talking to me on Telegram and he was like, yeah, I'm stopped here at eating at a Wendy's, and then he just like, and then when I woke, and then later on that day he's like, what the fuck is a Wendy's? And it's like, oh yeah, it's that place that I love to eat. And I'm like, I don't remember anything else about it.
Or it's one of those moments where you're just kind of laying in bed, just, chilling, about to go to sleep, and then you remember something stupid you did as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes. Yeah.
Same thing with that phenomena. It's just things the mind doesn't deem necessary to remember, so dumps it. Kind of like a
Yeah.
RAM. Just a whole bunch of random shit. And after a while, it just dumps the whole thing.
Now, Uncle Kage, you attend other conventions all over the world as well. I do want to bring up this one moment where I did actually meet you at BronyCon several years ago. I was just kind of minding my own business. I was ordering a coffee at the Hilton, the coffee shop in the Hilton, and then I saw this person beside me ordering coffee. He was wearing a white lab coat, and he looked very familiar because a friend of mine was talking and sharing videos of you at Anthrocon during Uncle Kage Story Hour, and then it was like, oh yeah, it's you, and then I just had to take a picture of it, or I have to take a picture of you.
So you took a picture of him sneakingly, like a stalker?
No, I asked for a picture.
It is
Oh.
confirmed Lifty
Yeah.
is Uncle Kage's stalker.
Okay,
God
well,
damn it, no.
join the crowd. I got a few of them.
Yeah.
I am
Actually-
not a stalker.
I actually got
Yeah,
a picture
right,
with you.
as you take pictures without Uncle Kage knowing.
I actually got a picture with you last year when I was in fursuit. You probably, I know for a fact. You
Oh yes,
don't
yes,
remember
I
that.
remember getting a picture with a fursuit. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I know
very
you don't remember that.
specific. Just happens to be, the chairman of one of the largest fucking conventions in the world. But he never gets a picture with a fursuiter. Fucking be specific, man.
Yeah. Okay. Describe this fursuit.
It is black, yellow, and white. And
That's me.
That's
like
my
every other
fursuit.
fursuit
That's
as
also
well.
me. God, we were in, I think it was the area where people from the public could come in and take pictures with people.
Well, that's most of Anthrocon.
Basically.
No, this was after the parade. 'Cause this was after the
Oh,
parade.
that would be in the meet and greet.
Yeah, the meet and greet. Yeah,
Okay. What's your fursuit's name?
Silin
Silent.
or Sylox. Either one works. Yeah.
Silent. Is that SYL?
It was SYLEN.
Oh yeah, there's pictures of him on the FA too.
Was he stomping on something?
No.
Yeah, actually.
Oh God. One of them is, yeah.
Now I'm actually wondering, do people actually set up any props at Anthrocon for macro furs to just stomp around and just destroy? 'Cause
Yes.
I've seen that before.
At the macro micro meetup. Yes, they do that.
Is that still happening this year?
Yes, it is.
Are you gonna be running that panel, Sylox?
I am not. Someone else is.
Or are you gonna try to stump on him?
I'm not going to comment on that. But no, that is an actual panel at AC. It's one at MFF too, and I think at BLFC. Those are the only cons I know they're at. There's probably at more though. Yeah.
I don't really remember much of the last times I've been to AC because I was kind of drunk off my ass the whole entire time.
You're doing it right.
Yeah, basically. Because I remember I was the one guy walking around, and since it's a past, I could talk about this. I'm the guy who was walking around offering drinks in a flask to all my friends,
Oh, you're alkali.
basically. Except my flask is a lot smaller than his, because I remember I
Well,
saw
that's
him walking
genetics.
around and offered a drink from my flask, and he brought out his, and the damn thing was as big as my fucking forearm.
Somebody tell me about this alkali fellow because he sounds
Dope
sounds
dude.
interesting.
Pretty dope, cool guy.
He is. Alkali is a capital fellow. He is known by many monikers: the top-hatted Jew, the magical booze-producing fairy. Basically, he's a very, very large man who wears a black stock trader's jacket and a top hat, which causes him to look even larger. He is a legendary connoisseur of imbibements. And
The dude can drink anyone under a table.
Oh, absolutely. Don't
I don't even
don't
want
try
to
to-
try it because
No, don't try. Do not try. Right now, there's somebody saying, dude, I'm going to have a drinking contest with alcohol. No, don't. People have gotten hurt. I'm serious. People have gotten hurt.
like
doing
you
that.
will
Don't.
probably, unless like even me, and I've been drinking since a very young age, and I have a very high alcohol tolerance. But that guy, he's not even human when he drinks. Like he
Oh my
literally, I
goodness.
feel like he's like an alcohol engine. It just
Oh, he is.
burns off of him.
That's why he's called alkali.
I need to find this dude.
Oh, he's dope. I hung out with him before. Like I said hi, and then just kind of like drank. Probably doesn't remember. 'cause
He sounds
probably
like an
drinks with
alcoholic's
everyone, but
best
still.
friend.
Pretty
Oh, he
dope,
is.
dude. Pretty classy.
And
The
then
best way I can describe him is a alcohol enthusiast with class.
Yes. An
Nice.
outstanding improvisational comic as well. Seeing him on stage is a real treat, and I highly recommend it.
Oh, he's pretty
But
funny.
I don't believe he actually is human, or if he is, he has some sort of extrasensory alcohol perception. Um, he came to my house.
Oh, he
the very,
sensed I
very
had a
first
flask
time.
on him because he
Yeah?
looked directly at the pocket my flask was in. And I was like,
Yes,
how? And he's
he
like,
came
I
to
know.
my house, and I do a wine stream on YouTube, just about monthly, and I have guests, and Alkali was my guest. This was the first time he was visiting my home, and he came in, and that was it. Hi, my very first time here. Midway through the wine stream, he got up and walked into the kitchen. Now, I have a local friend who's also an Anthrocon staff member. Be careful being local. And he had a lovely bottle of whiskey that he kept here, so when he visited, he would have whiskey, because I generally don't keep hard liquor in the house. And I keep it underneath my countertop in the cupboard to the left of the stove. It's the cabinet where I keep my Tupperware, and I keep the bottle in the back. Midway through the wine stream, Alkali, and I am not making this up, he got up, walked into my kitchen, didn't say a word or ask anything, just walked straight up to the Tupperware cabinet for no reason whatsoever, opened it, and took the bottle of whiskey out.
Oh my goodness.
Like the
Wow.
dude can. I feel like he has like an extra organ for sensing alcohol because of the fact that
He can sniff it.
I know. Like I didn't even tell him I had a flask on me. He just looked dead at the pocket, and I was like,
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh my
okay.
goodness.
You
Oh my
you know
goodness.
already what I'm gonna do, so I shared whiskey. It was good whiskey too. I had some pretty good fine sipping whiskey.
Yeah.
He liked it,
Nice.
which I'm glad he did. It was expensive as fuck.
Mm.
And then he shared his, and I was like, this is also really good. And he's like, yeah. So now I can officially say I've shared whiskey with Alkaline.
That's
or
that's
probably never
amazing.
say
I
his
need
name
I
right.
need to find this person and just slip my
Look for the
unopened
dude
bottle.
who's about 2 stories like taller than every other person around.
Oh,
and a
good.
top hat.
And
Oh,
with a
good.
top hat.
That's gonna be like really nice to find him because, in these large conventions, of course, it's difficult to find your friends, let alone some random furry that you're.
Yeah, it really
Really?
is.
Also, look for the guy who has like 20 flasks in his fucking jacket.
Oof.
And that's not
Well-
an exaggeration either.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you have difficulty, you don't run into him, you can come find me, copyright 2014 Fox and More, and I will see if I can put you in touch with him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because you should know already, Uncle Kage. I'm going to offer a drink from my flask, even though if you're on duty, you're probably not going to accept it. I have no idea.
Well, it's not so much being on duty. I don't drink hard liquor at all. I stick to wine, and that's a very, very hard and fast rule. Only wine, no whiskey, no rum, no vodka, no tequila, no water, no fruit juice.
What about
just
beer?
Wine. No beer, just wine.
Just wine?
What kind of
All
wine
right, I'll
do
get you
you?
a glass of wine then.
Yeah, what kind of wine do you usually like to drink? Uncle
Expensive
Kage?
wine.
Well, something within arm's reach.
So anything. Okay.
No. Well, the honest answer to your question is my wine of choice is a Riesling, specifically the Mosel Valley Rieslings of Germany, and even more specifically the Cabinet vintage, no older than 3 years. Failing that, any old rot gut California White Zinfandel in a box with a spigot at the bottom will do.
Oh, okay.
Every wine cheese party I go to, I always bring rock gut.
Well,
Because it pisses everyone off, because it's just as good as every other wine.
Generally,
Riesling.
yeah.
Riesling is pretty good. It's pretty sweet. I like Riesling.
Actually, that reminds me of a funny story if you guys have a second to hear it.
Sure,
Go
show.
ahead.
So,
Sure.
my grandfather, he was a lawyer, representative, politician, cool dude. And he actually went to a very expensive and fancy fucking, wine tasting thing with a whole bunch of other politicians and cigar smokers, shit like that. Usual old people with beards. And when he went there, everyone had brought very expensive, glasses of wine, and people were like going around and being like, "Oh, what's this? This is from there and there, fancy, distilleries and wineries and vineyards and stuff." And he walks up, and everyone's enjoying his wine, and he didn't tell anywhere where it's from until he was told to go up and tell people where it's from. He goes up there, and he's like, "This is bottom shelf $5 rot gut I got from the local, liquor store or whatever." And everyone just stopped because everyone thought his shit was some expensive fucking wine. And he was never invited back to wine tasting again. Because he just proved to everyone you don't need some expensive shit for good wine.
I don't even know what rock gut is, so I don't even know what to
It's
expect.
kind of like slang for box wine and very cheap wines, really.
Oh, I just call that Franzia.
Oh, you can go better than that. You want to get the bum wine.
The bum wine.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's
Basically, Thunderbird, Four Roses,
Oh my
Wild
God.
Irish
Can't go wrong
Rose,
with some
Night Train
Thunderbird.
Express.
Oh Lord, that's some stuff that you get at 7-Eleven.
basically. That's the
Nice.
point.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tried Mad Dragon, and I'm like, ugh.
You tried what?
I tried Mad Dragon from 7-Eleven.
I'm
and
sorry, I misheard you. I thought you said something else. Never mind.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah, I tried Mad Dragon, and I had the worst hangover just from a sip.
That's how you know it's good.
No, I hate hangovers.
Drink water then. Hangovers, for the most part, is just a case of dehydration from a whole bunch of fluid loss, because when you drink alcohol, it makes you have to pee and
Well,
sweat a lot.
There's more to it than that. If you get alcohol that's got a lot of crap in it, like Thunderbird or Mad Dragon, yeah, you're essentially poisoning your body, so your
That's
body
it.
will rebel.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, pretty much a hangover that harsh is just kind of like your body telling you, hey, don't drink that shit again.
Basically, because alcohol is technically a poison, so
Yes?
just like anything that isn't supposed to be in the body. So,
Yeah, but it's that one poison that won't kill you. See, you have methanol that will kill you, and then you have propanol that will kill you, and then you have ethanol. It's like, just right. Won't kill you. Yet.
ethanol will kill you.
Yeah.
Yet.
I have the amount of times I've had alcohol poisoning. It's like, yeah, that shit will kill you.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just funny how methanol will kill you. Propanol will kill you. Ethanol just won't kill you yet.
Well, it's the whole even odd carbon thing. Butanol won't kill you, pentanol will kill you, hexanol won't kill you.
Nice.
Sorry, that's the chemist talking.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Uncle Kage can tell you about that. He's a dang scientist.
Yeah, he is.
He works with the chemicals and make things explode.
Yes.
No, I don't make things explode. I try to keep them from exploding.
Yes.
So, are you a chemist?
Yes.
So you work with pharmacists a lot, or do you generally work more with high risk chemicals?
I used to work with high-risk chemicals. I've been in the pharmaceutical industry for quite some time. Not in the drug development end, I'm in the drug delivery end. I deal with packaging and delivery systems.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, because I was actually really good at chemistry when I was back in school and doing that stuff, and now I'm a gunsmith, and I study a lot of metallurgy, and one of the wonderful things about being good at chemistry and a gunsmith, I've learned a lot of the things that we use for browning and bluing barrels are really, really bad if they get on you.
Yeah.
By the way,
for example,
browning and bluing barrel. I want to hear you say that 5 times fast.
bluing barrel?
Browning and bluing barrels.
Browning, bluing barrels.
That's one.
Browning, bluing barrels. Fuck me.
There you go.
Got him.
Just don't want to say it a lot of times in one sentence. You'll be fine. But
I remember.
yeah, a lot of the chemicals that are used to, put artificial rust onto these, metals to keep it from oxidizing and destroying itself are really, really strong acids.
Yes.
Like the kind of shit that, as a gunsmith, I have to go to a chemist to properly get mixed because it's just so fucking dangerous.
You can just bring it to me.
What?
Why don't you
You
bring
just
it to
bring
you?
it to me.
Why?
No, I'd rather not. You will probably die horribly.
Knowing Lifty, you probably would.
Like
Yeah.
just the fumes alone would kill you. These solutions.
I've taken enough classes in organic chemistry. I'm fine.
No, still no.
That
Definitely
and
not with this shit.
Yeah.
my favorite professor has got to be my chemistry professor that he worked for Pfizer. He's a big fan of Virginia Tech, and he always talked in the third person. I don't know what it is about him, but I just miss that.
He talks in
So
the third
you want
person.
me to talk in the
Yes.
third person? Will that make you feel better?
No, that's the alcohol talking.
I don't think I've ever talked in third person because of being drunk.
It's
Shirky drunk. Shirky sad. Sharky want more booze. Sharky like ass. Or some other
Oh
shit.
my god.
But yeah, Uncle Kage, you
Stifle
ever
yourself,
work with
you shark.
solutions for gunsmiths?
What was that?
I was asking Uncle Kage if you ever work with making solutions for gunsmiths.
That I have not done.
You want to do it?
What's it pay?
It usually depends on how big of the batch, the chemicals used, shit like that. So you
We
can
could
get a
talk.
very, not so dangerous solution, and that's not as expensive. But if you work with something involving like a shit ton of different acids,
Mm-hmm.
like hydrochloric acid and a whole bunch of potassium shit and whatever the fuck. And usually that tends to be a lot more expensive given the fact that if you fuck up, it could probably kill everyone in the room.
Well, it's more a case of if you're going to work with that stuff at home, you're going to need the proper facilities for it, and then the cops are going to think you're cooking meth.
Oh, yeah,
Ew.
definitely. That's why you have
Yeah,
to
you
let the
don't want
police
to
know
think
when you're
that.
using that shit, because it literally smells like meth. Because it
And
just,
how would you know?
as a...
How would you know?
Yeah.
Sputter, sputter.
Well, you see, what happened was I was back in the army and being stupid and went to Prague and yeah.
Oh boy.
Anyway, so yeah, the police have to be known when this shit transports anyway because, well, deadly chemicals.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, Uncle Kage, did you ever have any bad moments when it comes to chemistry or chemicals? Like any that come to mind that just be like, why did this happen? Or oh shit, what happened?
Or were you just kind of like, why the fuck did I do this? Now that I think about hindsight
Yeah.
2020 kind of moments.
Yeah. Oh, I've had my share of explosions. I've had my share of fires. I've had my share of spills.
Oof.
I think the worst moment though was not overly spectacular. I was doing a radiochemical synthesis, which it sounds highfalutin, but it's just a carbon 14 label on something so you can track it through a body. Now it's ungodly expensive, the starting materials. I had about $25,000 worth of material, so I was being very, very careful. The last step involved heating it in a round bottom flask that's set in a hot oil bath. And I had it going and it was happily stirring. And when it was done, this was the last step. I'm all finished. I started to lift the round bottom flask out of the hot oil bath and I dropped it and it fell into the hot oil bath and broke.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
Oil bath, and that was, the first thing in my mind was that was $25,000 worth of starting material, and I just turned the oil bath off, took off my lab coat, and went home. I mean, what else? What are you gonna do? I'm done. I'm done for the day,
Yeah.
guys. I'll clean
No,
it up
for real,
tomorrow.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just one of those moments. I was like, well, I fucked up.
Yep.
Oh,
for sure.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to go home and
Understatement,
figure
man.
out tomorrow how I'm going to tell the boss, yeah, we need more of that starting material, the $25,000 stuff.
well, now
Kind of
it's
ran out.
$50,000 of starting material.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of.
Oh.
I remember one time I was working on my truck, right? And you know how flames and gasoline don't work well with each other?
Oh, they work very well with each other.
Well,
They
not in
love
the
each
way
other.
I wanted it to.
Well, it's all about what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, basically. So, in my mind, I was going to use the method of, heating up a metal to make it expand and get a nut loose. What the problem was,
Never heard it
it
called
was
that before.
one of the locking nuts for the fuel filter, which was
I'm
full of
beginning to see
gasoline.
the problem.
So,
Oh,
in my mind, I was thinking, you know what? I'm going to do this, not thinking about what's going to happen afterwards. I brought out the torch. I was about to apply it to the metal. I'm like, wait a second. This might blow up my truck.
wait. Are you talking about the truck that you're driving
Whoa.
right now?
Wait.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
How is your truck not blown up to smithereens? Explain that bit.
Well, the thing was, as soon as I noticed and looked at the fuel filter, then back at the torch, I was like, maybe this isn't a very good idea. Because the
No.
bolt itself was old as fuck. It was rusted to high hell, and basically rust fused. So I had to get a way to, get it off. So I almost set my truck on fire.
Oh boy. Almost as bad as when I made a little sparky trying to get whatchamacallit off on my Saab that was holding the fuel neck on, and it was like, oh wow, there's a lot of fuel here. I probably shouldn't make a lot of sparks here, but oh well, whatever.
Is that the sound it made when it blew up?
Well, no, because it didn't blow up. I was
That's it.
safe.
That would be an anticlimactic kind of explosion.
Yeah, and I would die.
just a little fart sound as the whole thing engulfs in flames.
That would be funny. Also, I'm out of beer.
Too bad.
Does that mean
Yeah.
the show's over?
No,
Get more beer, Lifty.
I can't because I can't drive.
Oh, you're actually out.
What? No, I'm at home.
No, I meant your. Never mind.
Anyway, talking about crazy fun stories, let's go to crazy fun stories for Anthrocon.
Oh dear.
Oh,
God.
yes. It is
Okay.
story time.
I have one, and I have one. All right, so my first year at Anthrocon, this was 2016. We all go out to a bar, and I have one hard soda. Halfway through, I'm completely drunk.
Fucking
I'm-
lightweight.
Yes, and again, I can't make this up. So I'm having a blast, and I'm in fursuit as well. So we go back to con space, and I'm drunk, running around in fursuit like a dog, rolling on the floor. I actually knocked someone over who was in not a wheelchair, one of those motorized scooters.
Oh my god.
And it got so bad, and
You don't happen to can the person in the motorized scooter? What did this person look like?
God, I don't even remember. This was a long time.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and
I can't help being curious because my little old mother uses a motorized scooter.
no, I
at
don't think it
Anthrocon.
was your mom.
Oh my god.
Did you
You said
almost
you
knock
weren't sure.
Oh my god.
You said you don't remember.
I don't, and I hope it wasn't
So,
your mom.
Is there a story involving your ma getting knocked over by a drunk fursuiter?
Oh my god. This
Not that
Is this
has
happening?
been related to me yet.
Oh,
Oh,
God. No, you actually ended up calling a cab for me to take me back to the Omni. I was that drunk.
Oh, that was you.
Yes, that was actually
You
me.
remember.
I do remember.
Yes, that was me.
Oh,
What was it
that's a
I
bad
told you
thing.
about remembering you at Anthrocon?
Oh God. Yes, that
Remember, it's
was
a
me.
bad thing if he remembers you, Sylox.
Oh boy.
That is my Anthrocon story.
This
Uh,
is great. This is great.
I remember last year, right?
Oh boy.
I was at Anthrocon. I was hanging out with an individual known as Indy. Cool as fuck, dude. Cuddly as fuck. Runs around in a blue fursuit. You know, not like he's the only fucking blue fursuiter around, but, you know. So we're hanging out, right?
Mhm.
This is one of those stories where it could have gone really bad. So I was hanging out, having a good old time. I don't know if he was drunk or just not thinking. Because he literally runs up to me and says, "How's it going, troop?" and immediately slaps me on the rear.
What?
I do not know who this guy is. And, like, my face went from happy fun times to must destroy this individual.
Oh my god.
Oh, and the funny thing is, there was already an officer in the lobby.
Ooh.
So, luckily,
And?
I had the situation handled by grabbing him by the tuft of the shirt and lifting him up to eye level. And letting him know, that's a big no-no. You don't do that. And after explaining to him that that is not okay, I let him down, straightened out his shirt, and I was like, "Do you understand why it's not a good thing to go up to random strangers and slap them on the rear?" And he said yes, and he ran away, and I'm pretty sure he cried. It was a good time for me.
So I have no Anthrocon stories because, of course, I've never been to Anthrocon. The only close thing that I have to Anthrocon story is that my first FurCon was just like a choice between Anthrocon and FWA 2016. And I was romantically involved with someone that was going to FWA that year. So, of course, FWA won out. And that was where the whole thing with Wenley's kind of happened.
In
I was
South by the
just-
border.
Yeah.
Motherfucking South by the border!
Oh my god. I hate that place. I hate
Who
that place
likes
so
that
much.
place, honestly?
Nobody. No, it's a tourist trap. Ugh.
Tourist trap for whom? It's,
I don't know. I don't know who to
dirty.
attract. It's
It's
dingy, man.
trash.
It is.
I think that's the point. The aesthetic is to show Mexico.
That is so-
Wow.
That is such a. That's not even. No.
Not even
Even-
remotely true.
No. Absolutely. That's not even remotely true.
Oh,
That's garbage.
Boy, you can't
South of the
say
border is
that.
garbage.
Your turn, Uncle Kage. Share something crazy. I know you got stories.
He must have that.
Yeah, the problem is where to start and which ones can I talk about and which ones has council told me you can't talk about those. I can think of about 3 dozen. Usually they involve the director of the convention center looking around and seeing me in the distance and then holding his finger out in one of those "come here" gestures.
Oh, God.
There was an incident of vandalism. When isn't there? Every single year. Fucking for
There's always that one asshole.
Yeah,
Well,
there always is.
I want to catch him. I want to catch him because hello, he owes me money. I was called over and said there's some vandalism in the bathroom, and I said, well, what sort of vandalism? They said somebody drew all over the wall.
Oh,
And
God.
I said, well, okay, this is the first day of the convention. Can we establish that it was
no.
our people and not something that was there before we got there? Well, they showed it to me, and I said, yeah, that's our people. Yeah, yes. So.
The
Was it a
first
poop
day.
drawing or
Good
just normal
Lord, man.
drawing?
I ain't going to tell you no more. I'm just going to leave it to your imagination.
That's
Oh boy.
But it was our folks, definitely, yes.
I don't want to think about knowing furries. What the hell that could have been? That could have been any
yeah.
matter of
That
horribleness.
can go any way. Yeah.
So now I have a question about a tweet that you sent last year during Anthrocon, Uncle Kage.
Yeah.
You were talking about. Here, I have the tweet on my computer. It said, someone was smoking on the 18th floor of the Westin and set off the fire alarm. If anyone can tell me who it was, I will let you have a piece as a souvenir. And I'm now everybody's wondering, piece of what?
Oh, I was there. I wasn't in the guy with the room guy smoking, but I was in that hotel. I had to literally limp my way down the fucking stairway because I can't go downstairs because I'm a disabled vet.
Oh,
And I was up towards the top floor.
yeah.
That sucks.
See, here's the issue. People seem to think it's funny. People seem to think it's harmless when the fire alarm goes off. They make a joke out of it. They don't seem to realize exactly how serious it is. I'm going to harken you back to a story that predates Anthrocon, predates furry fandom. When I was in college, they had a rash of somebody thinking it was a big giggle to pull the fire alarm at all hours of the morning in one of the dorms. And, of course, when that happens, the fire department has to show up. Well, after the third or fourth time, the fire department started fining the college. And that didn't seem to have an effect. So they tried everything. The only thing that made it stop was one evening, the alarm went off and the local fire company responded. Just about the same time, there was a house fire in town. The local fire company was tied up. We had to get a fire department from the next town over. By the time they arrived, 3 people were dead. That stopped the alarms.
Oh my God.
So anybody out there thinks it's funny, happens to be listening to this, there's a reason why I react very, very strongly to your little joke.
It's because there's actual lives at fucking risk.
Yes, yes, that fire department isn't, sitting around playing checkers all the time. While they are busy dealing with your joke, somebody could be burning to death. And if you've ever heard someone burn to death, it's not a nice sound.
Oh, I have. Really not good. Nor does the smell nice either.
Yeah, you keep that with you, and you try not to think about it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Again,
Let's change the
if
subject.
you ever do
Just get
find
going.
this individual that set off that was smoking, please let me know because I will gladly beat the hell out of him. Because it really
I'm
sucked
afraid-
walking down those stairs when my leg felt like it was fucking falling off.
I wish I could let you. Unfortunately, I can't. However, I will tell you this. Anthrocon has absolutely no compunctions about prosecuting people who dick with the alarm system like that. It is a felony, and we absolutely intend to see to it that whoever is responsible not only goes to jail, but pays all the fines that are levied against the hotel every time a false alarm is registered.
Oof.
Fun times at the cons, am I right?
So yeah, not a good idea to hotbox your room.
No.
Oh, that reminds me of another story when I was at I forget what fucking con this was because it was one. I remember parts of it because I was drunk off my ass as usual, and being a gunsmith myself, I have to follow federal law because you have to get a federal firearms license in order to be a gunsmith. So when I was partying, someone in the bathroom thought it'd be a good idea to smoke a joint up. Oh yeah, that was not a good fucking time. Well, at least for them, because as soon as that happened, because as you know, there's people with all sorts of professions that do drug tests and have to follow federal law. Many of them being like me, a fucking gunsmith. Some of them being police officers, firefighters, and here's an example: a fucking lawyer. Yeah. It was a lawyer that was right next to that bathroom who smelled it and immediately yelled out, "There's fucking drugs in this party."
Oof.
I immediately turned to the guys that were working security and I'm like, I'm out. Fuck this shit. And most of the people fucking left and they were not happy. They never caught the individual, but yeah. Don't do drugs at a fucking public party, would you? Some of us actually try to have a good time.
Nobody said people were intelligent. You know that.
Oh no,
I
people
will-
are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
The individual
also
may be
point out-
smart, but people
Just-
as a whole
just-
are stupid.
A little heads up to anybody who might be listening. One of my biggest expenses at Anthrocon is for a police presence. There's a large number of plainclothes cops at Anthrocon. So just keep that in mind the next time you want to dick around with drugs or with something like that.
Oof.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
you may think smoking up a joint might be harmless, but don't
not.
think about yourself. Think
Yeah.
about how
Can
other
really
people
ruin
with other
someone's life.
professions that do have to follow federal law and want to keep their jobs at the end of the fucking con.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of furries that fill that description actually.
Yep. I do too.
Well, not furries, young people. It's,
Yeah, young
It
people.
usually
absolutely.
is young dumbasses that do this shit. I'm sure after a lovely conversation with the police and the court, they usually straighten up. Usually.
I just can't help but just remember that that Dare lion from the Dare program. If anybody remembers the Dare program,
Oh
I
God,
do. It
yes,
was in my
I
school.
remember it. Yes.
we're all just letting him down so badly, unfortunately.
Oh yeah. Especially saying how I'm an alcohol enthusiast.
Yeah,
I wonder if there's like a dare fursuit for that lion. There has to be.
there has to be.
Oh,
yes,
There has to
absolutely.
be.
I mean, I've
He
already
just
seen
doesn't
the amount
go
of
around
porn
to
from
furry
him.
conventions.
If he did, that'd be great.
That would be great, but then he'd be dragged to all the room parties. And,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Things would
he
just go-
would be straight just, in the I guess furry terms, invited into the community.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of a lion, did you see the I think it was Cal Fire? They debuted a furry character.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
And one
that.
of the comments was, "I feel so sorry for you. You have no idea what's going to happen."
Well, it's a puma in a firefighter's uniform. Of course, there's going to be porn.
Rule
Oh, no, there
34,
already
if
is.
it exists,
Yeah, no,
there's
there
porn of
already
it. And I've
Absolutely.
tested
Yeah.
that rule, and I've yet to find anything that doesn't have porn of it.
I feel
Ah,
so
banana.
sorry for Cal Fire because, yeah, they're gonna.
Now, there is absolutely no such thing as any porn involving firefighters.
I don't know.
Pornhub.
I don't know about
No
that.
comment.
I mean, firefighters are pretty hot. No pun intended.
I was waiting for the pun, yes. Actually, you're right. There is porn of everything. One of my favorite sites, I shouldn't say favorite sites to visit, but a favorite site to point people to is no longer online. I used to direct people to this when they thought they'd seen everything. It was www.clownporn.com.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Oh no.
I mean, it's clowns fucking 24 hours a day. It's
Yep.
the
Oh,
big floppy
God.
feet and the squeaky noses and the
You squeeze my nose.
Oh my god!
yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Which is why I say nothing surprises me anymore.
Yeah, I'm a grunt.
Oh.
I've seen anything involving porn anywhere. So,
Oh my god.
desperate
I'm
times,
shocked.
desperate
That's the
measures,
thing.
and all that.
Oh.
Yeah, the amount of times when I was in that, people would ask if I would fucking should be in a porno in uniform, because apparently everyone thinks that soldiers fuck each other. I have no idea where that stereotype came from, but yeah, soldiers don't fuck each other. Just letting you know. Most of them are pretty homophobic. and they're
Oh.
assholes.
And the uncomfortable silence falls.
Anyway, since this has been a pretty good podcast, if I'd say
Yeah,
so
it
myself.
Oh,
has.
Pretty,
absolutely.
This has been great.
Absolutely.
you know, good
Yeah.
stories going around and just talking about where the fuck comes to mind as usual. I say, unless there's something else anyone wants to bring up, we can start wrapping this up.
Yeah.
Anyone else got anything? Going once, going twice.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, this was
All right,
Great.
sold to nothing.
This was amazing.
yeah,
All right.
All right, it was fun for me too. Thank you very much for inviting me, folks.
not a problem.
Oh, no problem at all.
Absolutely.
Thanks for
yeah.
coming on.
If you have anything that you want to plug, be it social media, videos, I don't know, where to go to see a picture of a cat or something, I have no fucking idea. If there's anything you want to plug, now would be the time to do it.
Go to Anthrocon, have a good time, don't be an asshole.
That
All
works.
right, fan-fucking-tastic.
That works.
Yeah, that works great.
Yeah.
This has been a wonderful episode of Furry Frequencies. Thank you all for joining us. I am
thank
Sharky, along with Lifty and Sylox, and special guest Uncle Kage. Everyone say goodbye.
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 Yeah. Peace out, motherfuckers.
Good night, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Good night, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Good night, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh,
Good night, North Carolina.
woo.
Night.